So, Tiara works for the largest banking institution in America, i.e. Bank of America. So, let me get this straight. She goes and she hands out dollars during the day, and she picks them up at night. Alright, so anyway, yeah, because by the way, if you guys didn't realize it, Bank of America is the largest financial institution in America. So, we get back into this being the recap for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, season 5, episode 2, Full Disclosure. And the episode starts off where it left off, where Tommy, of course, set this whole thing up. Well, actually, no. It was Carly Red. I just want to say Cardi B so bad. Carly Red, who has this whole thing of, you know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to plan and plot. And I'm going to invite them to Mimi's boyfriend. No, really. Girlfriend. No, I don't want to say that I'm a girl because I am in I'm in the girl's body, but I identify as male, but I don't see it. We're gonna get into all of that. That's all well and good, but we're gonna get into all of that a little bit later. So here's the thing. Tammy is going hard. I mean, she is going hard and going in on Tiara. And I'm thinking to myself, we went from Tammy borderline acting like she was going to be a little bit more classy with it, with her just being completely out there. And I was so disappointed. I was like, damn, I thought I was going to like Tammy. But I definitely don't like this type of, okay, so we're going to go and embarrass someone. And by embarrassing them, that's how we make ourselves feel better. Like, who does that? It's 2016. Haven't we realized that we can all be bad all by ourselves? And just because your guy is with his baby's mother, it's not like she knew about it, but you want to go and clown her. So it's like, oh, so what do you do? What do you do? And then, like I said, she said that she works for the largest banking institution in America. I'm surprised that Carly Red didn't go pop up her phone and be like, oh, so Bank of America, you're a teller at Bank of America. Or maybe you're the branch manager. She's probably the branch manager or something like that. Shout out to her. I'm sure it's a nice title. But aside from that, it was just like, oh, so when do you have time for your kids? I'm like, excuse me? She's putting in work. And I guess she was saying that because she is helping raising her son. But my whole thing is, your boyfriend, Scrap, didn't think too much of it to not have you meet the mother of his son's mother. What does that say about your relationship? Damn. When I get all this space, what does that say about your relationship? I'm trying to figure out for myself. Why is it that you feel that you have to go at her even though this isn't her fault? And then that's when it's like, oh, well, by the way, you're saying that you're with him off and on. Well, guess what? You're sitting on his face every other night. And I'm just like, okay, so the every other night that he's not, you're not sitting on his face, I guess she's sitting on his. Is that how it works? I'm like, this is a mess. This is a tomfoolery. So we know they scrap. And everyone's just like, yo, this is a mess. I'm upset because Carly Red has this whole thing of, she was just cackling. And I'm thinking to myself, this is disgusting. This is a travesty. This is a joke. Why is no one else except for me, of course, on screen, not looking at this for what it is? This was unnecessary. This was unnecessary. It should have been 2 against 1 against Scrap. I'm just tired of this usual rhetoric of the baby mama and the girlfriend fighting. Come on now. There's nothing new or original about that, Mona. There's nothing new or original about that, Mona. There's nothing new or original about that, Mona. Literally, Tammy and Tiara are supposed to replace Jocelyn and Mimi because they're not fighting with each other anymore. And Erica isn't on the show anymore. So we get past that. And of course, Mimi was pissed because it was like, who are these chicks who are fighting and messing up Chris's birthday surprise? And I agree. I mean, again, this was all unnecessary. Look, it's not like I didn't enjoy watching this show in general. I just feel like something like that, I'm not going to go and be like, oh. No. Come on now. Maybe when it was original, but not now. Shout out to Kirk actually seeing like a human being this season. Remember that the past couple of seasons, well, every season prior, where we just didn't like Kirk. I feel like because of the fact that Mono's like, okay, the jig is up, you don't have the house situation, you're not doing music, you have a legitimate business going on. So yeah, I guess it's about time that you go and just be a normal couple again. Just be a normal couple again. And I'm just thinking to myself, this is some bull. Why is it that finally they get to act like a normal couple? But normal couples have drama. And you know what drama they have? Rashida unveils to Kirk what's currently going on in their family ties. And unfortunately, you have this really odd situation of Mama D coming into the store in the last episode and creating this bird's nest and saying, well, you know, you got some rotten eggs. Next time you better lay some good eggs, because if you don't, you'll keep producing things like this. And of course, it's Mama D, so no one takes her seriously. But when you actually think about what she said, that was pretty damaging. If you really think about what she said, if you can comprehend what she actually said. So Kirk was like, you know what? Scrap is supposed to be my brother. How is he sticking his mom out on my girl, on my wife? And I'm thinking, okay, I understand how that can look, but let's be real. You know Mama D does whatever the hell Mama D wants. Especially, I mean, I said it no better than that. Mama D does what Mama D wants to do. So there is that. Tiara goes and she talks with Scrap. And Sass is recording a song in the studio. And I actually like it. The song sounds cool. And I'm like, okay, shout out to that. See, that's how you do it. You make sure that people you show yourself at work. That is how you prove the haters wrong. You show yourself at work, put it in that work, do what needs to be done to pay those bills. And everything goes to crap because this is when Tiara was just like, yo, Scrap, you're not going to play me like this. How can you have this hood ratchet chick, Tommy, watching our son? And I didn't know, because now it makes sense. We're all trying to figure out how in the hell did the mother allow this chick that she never met to watch the son. I'll tell you how. She didn't know that that Tommy was in the picture. That's why she thought that, oh, well, she didn't think anything of it. Because she didn't know. And it makes complete sense now. And of course she goes off on him. It's like, I'm in the club with this chick. I didn't even know. I was blindsided because this chick's saying that she's a baby mama and that you're sleeping with her and you're sleeping with me. And so he was honest. He was like, yeah, you know, on and off for the past year or so. So I'm like, regardless of what he did as far as cheating and all of that, shout out to him for just being real. Now, he was faking fraudulent for over a year, but look, there is never a wrong time to start being honest. So shout out to him for just being, because you know on this show how it usually goes, they drag it out there and this is like, oh, well, you know, baby, I love you, and you know, she's lying and it's not a big deal, it's not what it really is, just kind of playing it off. At least Scrap was just like, it is what it is. What are you going to do about it? And I'm upset because these women fell for that. They actually fell for that. It is what it is. What are you going to do about it? And then they put it in your court. What are you going to do about it? I'm like, you should have been like, you know what I'm going to do? Take my ass and leave. That's what they should have done. But, of course, Tiara was just like, at the end of the day, get that chick away from my son and do it now, because I promise you, this is over. You will not see him, because I can't have someone who attacked me go and look after my son. And I was here for her on that, because it's like, Tommy attacked her, and you want her, because if you look at it, Tommy was ready to scrap. If you look at Tiara, if you go and rewind, you see that Tiara was trying to back up. She really wasn't trying to fight Tommy. So I'm like, okay, crap, maybe her job is also legitimate. But then I'm like, why is she? But then again, a lot of people have 2 jobs and some don't really correlate. Look at me. I recruit during the day and professional recruit for the day. And I do YouTube videos where I'm super animated and borderline ratchet at night. Please like, comment, subscribe, by the way. Anyway, so we get past that and we have Chris, Adrian, not Adrian. What's that woman's name? Chris, Mimi, and Arian. There we go. Look, there are too many new people on this damn show. I get it that they're probably going to phase out some of the older people that have been on the show for a while, but this is a lot to process. Kind of shout out to them because at least they're giving us a lot, so it doesn't feel lackluster. So I'm really liking this show so far. Anyway, we have the two ladies and the one lady that identifies as a man, Chris, and of course Arian is just trying to figure out, you know, Chris isn't Mimi's type. And it's like, so Mimi, you're a lesbian now? Oh my gosh, we're sisters. And it's like, nah, we ain't sisters. You know, Mimi doesn't identify as a lesbian, which we already knew. I didn't think that she was. I do believe that she and Love's getting played around with, but I never thought that she was a lesbian or gay. We know this is for a storyline. We know this is temporary. She didn't need to bring Chris out on camera. But then again, she wouldn't have had a storyline. So, there is that. So we're just going to move right past that because Chris just has this whole mantra of Chris feels like she was a man born in a woman's body, but she doesn't feel like she needs to go and get her lady parts removed. Along with that, she also feels like during sex, she doesn't want her lady parts being touched because that reminds her of the fact that she's actually a woman. I'm just like, this is some deep, no, damn it. See, deep psychological stuff that I just don't want to deal with right now. Damn. That was not Freudian slips. That was just... Anyway. Scrappy is down at the radio station with his boys. They might be his cousins too. You know, everyone's related. Everyone's related. And he's with Jock. Young Jock. Well, we're calling him Jock at this point. With Jock. And Jock is just like, you know, Jock's really feeling Scrappy's assistant. And Scrappy has his modeling agency. And they're just like, oh, so, you know, you touching up all the models. It's like, yeah, he's definitely touching up all the models. He's definitely touching up all the models. Yeah. But, anyway. After that, we have... Who do we have? Damn, what's that chick's name? Oh, we have Mimi, we have Rashida, and we have Tammy. They went to this fashion show, and Bambi was there. It was like, okay, Bambi looked good. Bambi looked good. Shout out to her. Now we get introduced to Dee Smith. She is the transgender woman. Male to female transgender. And, you know, Tammy was just so infatuated with her look. She was just like, I have to reach out to her because she could be a good fit for my new clothing line. And I was just like, Tammy, Dee Smith isn't featuring you because Waka Flocka said some stuff. And I actually remember it when he was saying some stuff about the transgender community. Not the transgender community. He was saying stuff about Caitlyn Jenner. I mean, come on. Anything about Caitlyn Jenner, it's not justified, but the media, the media did a lot because of Caitlyn Jenner. I mean, they really did a lot. It was just a blanket storm, and I feel like there's two sides to the story. Yes, at some point you need to tell your kids that there are different types of people, and you need to accept them for who they are. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say accept everyone for who they are, because some people are real F-up. Some people are really messed up, so you don't have to accept them for who they are. Forget that rhetoric. If they're messed up, they're messed up. If they're doing a choice for themselves that isn't hurting anyone else, don't worry about it. That's what I would say. See? We got this. Yeah, so Dee Smith, you know what? She seems chill enough, so I don't feel like we'll have any issues with her. But her little sidekick minion, who I thought was like, oh, she's cute. So, you know, I always see, of course I'm biased. So, because of that, even if the personality is kind of, I'm still like, all right, I'll hear what you have to say. But I can't do that for Dee Smith's friend. What the hell is her name? What the hell is her name? We'll know her name for next time. But anyway, her friend who's just like, you know, I do this and I do that, and Dee Smith was just like, oh, why are you going with someone scrappy? Because that's lowering your standards. So I'm just like, Who you ladies think you are? Like, Scrappy may not be popping out here, but I don't know either of you either, so you're not in a better boat. And of course, D. Smith's friend was just talking about how, well, you know what, Waka Flocka was saying certain things, and so he's bashing the LGBT community, and I'm just like, oh Lord Jesus, why is he so white? Who cares? Who cares? Who really cares? Tammy is not her husband. Let's get that. She is not Waka Flocka's keeper. Come on now. And I heard what he said. What he said wasn't that bad. I'm sure that, I know it was offensive to some people. It wasn't that bad. So we'll jump right past that. We get to Karen. Karen, the grand dame of, I guess we can officially say the grand dame of, what's this thing called? Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And she's talking with Tommy. And it's just like, Tommy, you need to handle this. I don't know what's going on between you and Scrap, but at the end of the day, I don't like what's her face. I don't like Tiara. I don't like Tiara because, you know, when I was on the lam, on the run, because we were all being accused of hurting Sass's father, you know what I did? My sons were on the run, and I had to go and hide out as well because they got arrested at one point. So if I didn't go and hide out, no one would come to bail us out. And I'm like, okay, but if what's her name? If Tiara was out, I'm sure she would. Anyway, but I get the general, okay, I get the general logic. Now, the thing with that is, she was on this whole, but then, you have Tiara who went and ratted me out. And so that's why I got locked up. Eventually we're all acquitted anyway, because, you know, we true mobsters. So at the end of the day, we're not going to get caught up. I'm just like, this is some, oh Lord Jesus. There's something fake and phony about the storyline. I do think they are a potentially dangerous family, but I'm just like, you don't go on reality TV because that automatically softens you up. I'm trying to figure out why people don't realize that. Unless that's what they're trying to do, trying to change their image. Like, broaden their image and change it at the same time. So anyway, that's a mess. You have Scrappy, and again, you have Jock. Jock wants to holler at Scrappy's girl, at Scrappy's assistant. Jock does so, gets the number. Well, he puts his number in her phone. Kirk comes out of nowhere. It's just like, you know what? I need to talk to Cuz. Jock, who I thought was really trying to mac on old assistant girl, he goes, walks right past her, and says like, you know, you two need to talk. And of course, he initially starts talking to Scrap, and it's just like, how are you going to have your mama out here talking to me, talking to my wife a certain way? And it was just like, of course, Mama D has this look of, because Scrap said, don't get involved. Of course Mama D was going to get involved as soon as she found out. We already know how Mama D is. She's your mother. How would you not know she wouldn't just go and do that anyway? Come on, Scrap. So Kirk and Scrap have a conversation, and the realization is Kirk didn't want anything to do with Scrappy and his court case with Erica because, of course, we already know that Rashida is friends with Erica. And that was just a very messy situation, conflict of interest. So that's why he wanted no parts of it. He didn't express that to Scrap. And then also Rosewood, the opportunity for Rosewood came around. So it was like the night before. And they gave absolutely no warning. I do think that was wrong that they left him out in the cold. And Scrap was like, thank God for Miss Deb vouching and having clout in Atlanta with the judges, or else I would have been screwed. And I'm just like, damn, how much has Deb done in the streets for her to have that much clout? Because the thing was, Scrap was going to potentially lose, I guess, some type of custody of his daughter Imani. Or Imani, as how they pronounce it sometimes. So I do feel like that was a really great situation, because if you think about it, that's messed up. This was a custody battle, and you're saying because, you know, you didn't want to rock the boat, you almost let someone who's supposed to be your cousin almost lose partial custody of his child. even though Scrap was doing a lot of mess. So that's partially why the whole case came to be. D. Smith goes and meets up with Tammy, and D. Smith is just like, because Tammy was just like, you know, I thought you're very beautiful, and I'd love for you to be a model in my fashion line. And so she was just like, okay, that's all well and good, that's cute, but I need to talk to you about your husband, because your husband said some stuff about the transgender community, and so I don't really know what your stances are as a result. She was just like, again, I'm not my husband's keeper, where some of the things that he said could be misconstrued and were wrong. Yeah, is he a bad person? No, and I'd actually love for you to meet him so that you can see that he doesn't have any ill will to anyone. He's just kind of like a live and let live type personality. And that's what I get from Waka Flocka as well. Just because sometimes you have like someone who's, I guess you can say, brought up in the streets and stuff, doesn't mean that they're ignorant to the point where they can't see that everyone is different, and it's just like, you know what, just accept it, don't be bothered by it, move on. And I don't think that it was anything of hate, but you know, with the LGBTQ community, how it's so sensitive because of all the bullying and harassment. So yeah, there was that. So they cleared that up, and she was just like, you know what, Tammy seems decent, so I'll give her a pass for now. We switch over to Scrap and Tommy. This was the worst acting melodramatic crap that I've seen in my life on this franchise. You have Tommy going from, you know what, Scrap, I hate you, throwing the flowers down, throwing the candy down, to just like, you know what, so, because Scrap was honest with her, he was just like, yeah, I've been sleeping with her as well. And it was like, again, okay, shout out to Scrap, at least he was being honest about it, not for him doing it, but again, that is also, ladies, you don't realize, that's a form of mind control, because if your man can go and just be honest with you, because a lot of times ladies say, oh, well, I just wanted to know the truth. If he's honest with you, shows you who you are, believe it. Don't think he's just going to change because he got caught. Come on now. Come on now. And so then she was just like, oh, and then he was like, you know, okay, I'm gone. It's just like, oh, why you go away? I'm like, what the hell? And then Tommy, to make it even worse, Tommy was just like, you know what? You know what? Do you love her? And he was like, yes. She was just like, what? It's like, what? I wanted to be honest. I was like, you realize you're being played right now. And you're accepting the fact that you're being played. I can't even be mad at him at this point because you're accepting the fact. Now, you have, what's this woman's name? You have D. Smith's friend. Why can I remember her name but not her friend's name? Who, like I said, very cute, but she's just doing a lot. And so they go back and forth. Tammy and D. Smith's friend go back and forth, who I guess is officially cast member. And it's just like, oh, well, you know, your man said this, and homophobic, LGBTQ community, and all this stuff. And they're just like, Lord Jesus, this is not your fight to battle. Why are you so pressed about this? Why? Why? Get over it. You just want to be mad for no reason and being taking low blows. It's like, I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are. And then they eventually fight. They eventually scrap. Now, that's one fight I wouldn't mind seeing because it just seems really random and out of the blue. But I'm not mad. No, I'm not mad at that one. And I'm just like, okay, so where's Jocelyn? Where's Stevie? Where's K. Michelle? Do they not have much of a storyline? So we're going to only see them in like 2 or 3 episodes? Like, what's going on now? But anyway, next week seems to be like some BS. We're going to eventually find out about CVJ having another child. We're going to find out a lot of stuff. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Come back next week. Look at my other shows that I review by looking at my videos.